conservative America.
Okay, guys, we're gonna watch Bill O'Reilly get on and be very angry. He's gonna get so angry at this too. Guess. Are you ready?
Work for the Washington Post.
I did.
What about that hit piece? I mean, come on. The O'Reilly Romney.
Ready? Look at him. Look at him right now.
Sounds like I ran for president. He was VP on the ticket.
No, look, I think that when they start with the name calling, I've got no use for it, Bill. I've had to deal with this as a black person on school vouchers, as well as comments about Muslims in airport. That's not what I said. That's not what I'm thinking. And I know you personally. That's just crazy. I think Romney and Romney spoke about the president's base as if he was rewarding elements of the base. Ryan spoke about an urban population. That's getting closer, and it's worrisome. But the real issue I have, and the one I want to discuss with you, is what you said in the Talking Points memo, because I don't think people necessarily voted in terms of their economic interest. I think there are lots of poor people. I think there are lots of seniors who receive Medicare and Social Security who voted for Mitt Romney. I think there are lots of people in the suburbs of New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey who are in some of these big companies that would have to pay higher taxes under President Obama, who nonetheless believed that Obama was the better candidate and voted for the best of America.
Okay, but look, Juan, come on. You got to be... The stats
Here you go. He's starting to lose it now.
All right, Mary Catherine.
Remember how he lost his temper? Watch this.
On election night and this evening. The stats are overwhelming. That under $30,000 a year, they broke 7 million plus for Obama. All right, if it had been 50-50 in that regard, in that area, Romney'd be president. And you can't tell me that economics were the primary motivating force for that group to vote for President Obama. You just can't say it because it's not true.
Well, first let me say that I agree with Juan that it's unfair of the Post and it's unfair of many in the media to make the argument that pointing out some of the statistics about the election and actually pointing out that indeed minority increase in turnout and in urban areas, yes, in cities where the GOP has problems relating to folks and bringing folks into their fold and voting for them, those are not racist statements, and we need to get away from that if we're going to actually analyze this like we want to. But I will say that I think, you said yourself that some 30-something% of under 30,000 a year voted for Romney. So
look at her face now, and watch her face at the end of the interview. Watch this.
Completely ruled by whatever.
He yells at her so bad.
You have to supply. If you're going to say that,
wait,
Mary Catherine. If you're going to say that, if that's going to be your point of view, you have to fill in the blank. What did they vote for? I just listed 8 things. Did they vote for 80% unemployment? $16 trillion debt? What did they vote for?
I think that that can play a role, but I think
No. Answer my question, Mary Catherine.
They
under
voted for
$30,000.
I'm answering you. They voted for the fact that they didn't believe that Romney was on their side and had their back, and that is a failure of our own and of Romney's campaign, and we cannot avoid that.
Now we're getting someplace, and Juan, I'm going to ask you the same question.
That is part of the calculation.
Wait, Mary Catherine, wait.
Look at that.
We're getting somewhere now. Juan, you listen up.
Wow.
All right. So Romney doesn't have their back, as you said. That's a general statement. That doesn't mean anything. What was that feeling based on? What was the feeling based on that Romney wasn't looking out for them? I agree. The perception was that Romney wasn't looking out for him. But what was that based on, Mary Catherine? Was it a social issue or a financial issue?
I think there are several parts of it.
What was it?
Wait, hold on. Let me also point out another stat here. For Asian Americans, which is one of the more highly educated and affluent groups in America, that was one of the biggest turnarounds for Obama in attracting that group. He didn't offer them government dependency. He didn't offer them financial gifts. So I think simplifying it to only that hampers us in the future.
Okay, but you still haven't answered the question, so now I'm going to give Juan a chance.
Because I think there's a larger cultural sense that Obama was on their side.
Listen to me. When I ask you a direct question and you don't have an answer, it's best to say I don't know.
Wow.
Do you know, Juan?
I think when you go back to 47%, I think people feel he was looking out for the top 2% in big corporations.
What did they
vote for? Mary Catherine said he wasn't looking out for them.
We all agree, all three of us agree, that the under 30,000 crew didn't believe Romney was going to help them. What did they vote for, Juan, by re-electing President Obama? What?
I think they voted for a country where they feel that as seniors, as veterans, as people who may be disabled, that the country moving forward, especially in terms of this fiscal cliff and economic decisions about budget priorities,
this is like a kid in high school. What did they vote for?
I just told you. I just told you they voted for a government that is, they feel knows their situation, understands what it means to be in their financial situation, and
then do what? There's got to be more than understanding and empathy. Do what?
I don't think there does.
Move
Bill.
forward, because if
Move
it was just
forward
about
where?
growing, move forward in this economy. You said, and this is where something I disagree with you.
We got 8% unemployment. We got $16 trillion debt. We're not moving forward, Juan. There's
moving forward.
No reason we're moving forward. No way.
Yes, and I think that most Americans disagree with you and think that the economy is finally starting to go forward. And in fact, if you don't invest in education, infrastructure, and the American people, and just give money back to the rich, then you go back to the days where less taxes, less regulation.
You're basically both disagreeing, but you're agreeing in a roundabout way, and I got to run. It's about money.
Empathy played a part. Empathy played a large part. And cultural identification played a large part.
No, this vote was about money primarily. There are a few
what an angry man. What an angry, disgusting. Get him out on the street.
I shouldn't say they were crooks,
Showing his true colors. Before the election, he was being moderate, but look at him now.
You're just going to outbid Democrats?
No.
We can't do that.
This was
you have to make a different
money.
pitch.
Ready for phrase now? After
That's
the interview.
What it was about. And I was absolutely
I think
right.
everyone votes about more things than
Wow,
this.
she got yelled at so
All right,
bad.
Mary Catherine Wine, happy Thanksgiving. We have a brand new BillO'Reilly.com question for you. Was Mitt Romney wrong in saying that many voters supported the president because of his title?
This is a treat video for you guys, for free.
Yes or no,
Go ahead.
BillO'Reilly.com.
Take it, let me know what you
Directly
think.
ahead. Living in
Wow.
that